Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Paladins Summer Circuit Round 2 here with the matchup of D69 and Death and Taxes. My name is Rainday. Thank you all for tuning into the broadcast today. It's great to see you all in chat, enjoying some Paladins competitive scene. And of course, I'm joined here with my co-host, Vox Tempest, as well. Vox, go ahead and say hello.
Hello.
That's all I wanted from you. Let's get back to introducing these. You're done. Sit down. Take a seat. No, we're going to introduce the teams now on D69, the winners of last week, coming in as a high favorite this week. We've got actually mirror matches in terms of both squads, but PERDO is going to be running the Androxus on his side for D69, eLvenpath on his famous Buck right now, Shipa on the Bomb King, Bugzy on the Cassie, and gerrah on to the Grok. Vox, take us away for Death and Taxes.
And of course, as the fight breaks out around the mines point right now, a lot of poke going either way. We do have Death and Tax on the right-hand side. They will be red on your minimap and on your spectator UI, and it is Bozey on Grok, SYER on Androxus, Marre on Cassie, who has just been taken down on the backside, STURE on Buck, and TheScorpYoN on Bomb King, and already the onslaught begins from District 69 as they push into the choke point. They go with a pincer, and Shipa with a double kill cleans things up for the team, and there is nobody left alive from Death and Taxes.
That was unbelievable. I mean, the pincer there was so effective because they all grouped up, and Bomb King, I mean, nothing better for a Bomb King than to have like 3 people with low health just standing right next to each other. I mean, that's a Bomb King's dream. He dreams of that at night, and that's pretty much what he got there. So fantastic pincer to start off from D69. Death and Taxes on the back foot, looking to try and retake this capture point here with some aggressive maneuvers, going up the right-hand side rafters and looking to look down and throw a Grumpy Bomb onto the point, but it's too late. They've already lost it.
It's already over, and the payload cart does also block the stun right now, so Death and Taxes need to look for a defense here. But they're getting poked out by District 69 as the Grumpy Bomb, the sticky bombs hit 3. eLvenpath deep into the backside cleans up another one. One left again, and District 69, they're just wiping over and over again. They're wiping Death and Taxes off the face of the map. They're wiping the floor with them, and every time they group up and go in as a team, and I love the fact that Death and Taxes are kind of hanging back, grouping up and going in as a team. They're just getting taken down over and over again.
Well, what's also so great is that D69 is not letting them, they're not like relaxing. They've got this lead, they're going for it as STURE does take down Shipa in the back line, but is getting taken down by bugzy in return. They're basically playing very, very aggressively to get that payload as far as they can while they have this huge advantage. Death and Tax is now looking to regroup, get themselves organized, and back into a position to defend this at this crucial choke point. If it pushes too far, it's almost going to be a guaranteed 4 points for the boys from D69, and you don't want to give a favorite a lead like that to start. So looking like a good hold from Death and Taxes so far, but eLvenpath gets that payload moving already.
Well, they have to be very careful as Shipa right now as King Bomb is available up in the air. SYER has the cursed arm, drops damage on Shipa. 3 shots do connect. That is a kill, double kill. Nope, 1 single kill for STURE right there. Got STURE and SYER on the same team. That is getting very confusing. But meanwhile, the Tempest being pushed towards completion. Here's a Tempest coming out from Bozey. gerrah still has their own. That Tempest should be popped here in just a second, but gerrah has been forced out by the rest of the team right now, and Death and Taxes once again rally together for a hold, but there have been 2 ultimates banned from their team in order to do so, and now District 69, as they stack up ultimate charges of their own, are going to be at an advantage.
Yeah, gerrah, eLvenpath, and Shipa all have their ultimates, so look for that Bomb King ult, that wall coming out from the Buck, and of course the Tempest from the Grok on gerrah's hand, and of course now PERDO has the accursed arm available, and this guy doesn't miss shots. You can see it coming up pretty soon, jumps into the air, going in on STURE, hits 1, hits 2, PERDO takes him down, and that's 2v1 there onto the Buck. eLvenpath trying to run away, but he's going to be the sacrificial lamb in that engagement, but it looks like the payload is getting where it needs to be. The Chain Lightning's going to do it. gerrah and Bugzy going to push the payload, and that's a 4-0 start for the boys of D69.
That's a phenomenal distraction. You put eLvenpath and PERDO, 2 of the players on District 69 who you should be most scared of out of any players in the world. Around the backside, they go, oh, we can kill them. This is great, without realizing that it's actually just a bait. The payload rolls through unhindered. And now, with an advantage of an additional 100 credits for converting that payload, District 69 are going to start to flesh out their burn cards. We can take a look at the scoreboard and see what's being picked up so far. Haven's being picked up across the board. Except on the Scorpion by Death and Taxes. Bugzy yet to purchase burn cards still, however, we're seeing Haven and Morale boost on PERDO. Unsurprising there. And eLvenpath going for Kronos now, not the question. eLvenpath actually having given up on Tightrope for this round, going for a Leg Day 3 and Concussion 3 build, which means that he'll be able to jump a little less far as normal, not playing versus Kinesta to close that gap, less necessary, less needed, but will have a 450 damage shield for 3 seconds upon landing from Heroic Leap.
And what I like about that, and I want you to maybe touch on that a little bit, because that's going to give him an extra shot. That's one extra basically Cassie shot that he's going to be able to survive against on the enemy team, and that may give him that extra second and a half that he needs for his cooldown to jump back up for Heroic Leap and get out of trouble as Shipa takes down the Scorpion. So eLvenpath looking for a little bit more safety. The Buck on the other side of things, STURE trying to basically get in and make his mark, still alive, looking to fight. He's 2-5 right now. He's going against eLvenpath, and he does take him down. Buck on Buck crime going the way of STURE this time, but it looks like he's going to fall shortly to Bugzy and Gerrah, who have just been best buddies over here. Vox, they've just been staying next to each other, and it's been working. Cassie and Grok, I don't want to fight those two.
I think it's wonderful. You know, Grok has a totemic ward that he can stick down Ghost Walk when he doesn't have it available. Bugzy is playing Cassie. You no longer have damage immunity frames during dodge roll, and as a result, you can just hide in a totemic ward all day, dish out shots instead of rolling around, being a little bit more vulnerable. And then also you have your disengage potential for anybody who tries to get in close and destroy the actual totem in the middle of the totemic ward, which does drop the shield and has significantly less health. In previous weeks, we saw eLvenpath running Bulldozer to dive in towards the Grok, do just that, take down the shield by taking down the totem with 100% additional damage to deployables, and it worked phenomenally, so really counters that strategy very hard if tried.
Absolutely, and of course the eLvenpath STURE matchup is continuing to go. eLvenpath taking him down just before falling himself. STURE trying to stay alive actually with a couple of nether steps, but gets taken out by PERDO right before he can get back to the healing base. Of course, an iteration that will not be in the new maps coming up in the next patch next week. We won't be having this healing base, so the mechanics of this fight will be different. But right now, Bomb King comes out of the ultimate, not good enough. Poppy Bomb up into the air, Grumpy Bomb down, and who's going to win this one? Shipa gets the better in, but Bozey takes down Shipa, and the payload continues to push. Again, a great distraction, Vox, and you know, they seem to be getting a little bit caught up in the wrong things here.
And right now, as eLvenpath uses that imprisonment just to keep himself alive and box out against STURE very, very well, that will be a white Bomb King and a contested payload for the time being, but there are all members of District 69 available right now. In fact, we've got 4 sitting around here, 1 still respawning and 1 coming back in if I'm not mistaken. But as they start to push, the players are falling one by one. Sheep in a lot of trouble against the Scorpion, is losing that Bomb King trade, now going to be taken out by SYER around the side. Gerrah does pick up Bozey though, that's really important. That's the Grok in favor of District 69 still alive, and that is huge for keeping this game in things. But Gerrah's stunned out. Gerrah's in a lot of trouble. A Cursed Arm from SYER rains down, picks up only 1 kill, shot out of the air by Gerrah right there, and the payload rolls through for the second conversion of this very, very quick game.
So, you know, SYER really wanted to use his Accursed Arm a little bit earlier. Right there, he was very low and kind of got taken out,
yes.
I think, before he could hit his 4th shot. The thing is, it was a fantastic totemic ward that was popped by Gerrah onto the cart. You know, if you've got that totemic ward and you've got the Crackle 4 there, was going to increase the shield's health by 1,000, you're going to be able to absorb nearly all of Androxus's shots. It's going to be most of Androxus's damage from Accursed Arm. So it forced the delay, and it forced him to really not take advantage of what could have been a devastating, you know, game-turning ultimate that SYER had, and really not make any use of it. Great job by Gerrah there.
Now going into the next round, 3 cards for all members, or 3 burn cards for all members of District 69, with the exemption of eLvenpath, who did get taken down quite a bit in the backline there, but in the meantime, the objective has spawned on Waterfall. There's a lot of open space in. Straight into the backline goes Shipa. King Bomber's being charged. King Bomber's going to push through. No kills coming from that, but eLvenpath dives deep into the backline as well, and all of D69 start to take them apart. Shipa picks up STURE on the backside. PERDO cleans up Bozey. PERDO cleans up with a double kill. PERDO's looking for more still. Gerrah with the Tempest now is about to take down SYER. SYER able to nether step away just in time, but up in the air is vulnerable still as the chase keeps on going in. Scorpion with Bomb Kings. King Bomb ultimate finds nobody. They disengage immediately. Gerrah under fire now, will fall to the Scorpion, but under fire once again from PERDO as they continue the chase, and eLvenpath has respawned. They'll take down the Scorpion. On the backside of things, STURE did clean up PERDO. That's no more Androxus for you, but meanwhile, all the capture point is just stacking up and up in favor of District 69. In jumps STURE, and there's only Bugzy left to contest. This looks like a retake from Death and Taxes. Do they have the potential to hold it?
They do if they can get themselves grooved up. They got that Grumpy Bomb to force the Ghost Walk off of Bozey, and now is when they would want to be fighting him, forcing his Totemic Ward out as well, but it just looks like they weren't able to capitalize soon enough there. PERDO and all of the squad there, STURE with a nice imprisonment, keeping them away, trying to hold on to this point as much as possible. Bozey, again, still on the point. He's got his cooldowns back up, it would appear. Gerrah trying to get on, but he loses out to SYER, and it looks like this game is not over yet. Death and Taxes get it themselves onto the board. It's 8-2. Fox, could we be seeing a comeback here?
Oh, potentially, but there's a long uphill battle ahead of Death and Taxes if they want to take more points and go for the conversions. They've got to not drop a single capture objective from this point onwards in order to stop District 69 from winning. They've taken one so far, but honestly, it looked more like District 69 just far overextended. We saw Shipa try some starting there, going across the map straight into King Bomb, and everybody diving in way too deep. Now, eLvenpath on the backside is once again overextended. Isolated and alone does have a right leap to get out of dodge for the time being. Bugzy next one to be under fire. Target has been locked, however. Bugzy so low, taken down by SYER right now, but the payload is being contested around by gerrah as well as Shipa right now. And as PERDO cleans up on the backside, PERDO's looking for a second one to SYER as well. Very low, being forced out by Bomb King. Should fall here, but somehow staying alive. No, concussion damage does take him down. eLvenpath comes back for the redefense, and the payload has been stalled out successfully.
So, you know, as the teams are kind of in this impasse here, not really being able to push it, is Death and Taxes, and a very good defense coming out from D69 so far. You talk about playing up, you know, maybe getting a little distracted on the end. We've seen Death and Taxes be a little bit more distracted on the defensive end for the most part of this game. But then D69 had their moment of kind of, I think, pushing a little bit too far up, getting a little distracted on some of the other things besides objectives. We saw gerrah by himself, no longer accompanied with bugzy, and he lost out to that point and just couldn't get it back from Bozey. Is there something that, you know, we would have liked to see from D69? Or you think they're getting a little distracted, just feeling themselves? I mean, an 8-0 start, you think that has to do with it?
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like overconfidence. It looked like cockiness to me. But they're making up for it now, holding a very strong defense, having great positioning. eLvenpath right away from the payload, just showing himself, being visible, shooting and taking damage onto people around the outside, does take out STURE, and look at the wipes just coming through. Only 2 members of Death and Taxes left alive, make that only 1 member, make that no members, all of them fall for the team wipe once again, and up goes Shipa for the high ground advantage, looking to poke people out as they start respawning, and this is the problem that we're going to encounter with Death and Taxes trying to break this hold right now. There is so much poke coming out from District 69, but by the time they get to the payload, by the time they fight, that they're actually so low on health that they're just taken down one by one and cleaned up with ease.
Yeah, no, it's so hard, especially with a character who's got such good area control, especially when you're forced to come out of a very specific location like your spawn point. With Bomb King and backup from his entire team, it's going to be so difficult for them to push out. Already half health, and it looks like the damage is being done already in terms of the death count rising up on the side of Death and Taxes. eLvenpath, Shipa, and it looks like gerrah both getting themselves some kills now. It looks like the only one alive left is STURE. He's going to fall quickly to the entire team. You know, it looks like they're trying to make it out, but it's not going to be anything worthwhile. They're going to give this one up, and it's 8-2 still, of course, because no points will be added when it's your final point to win the game. Although this game goes to 9, you cannot win it off of a defense, Fox. So they're going to have to actually capture this point. So this is really where we'll see if Death and Taxes are making an actual comeback, or if that was just a fluke and D69 got themselves a little bit too much confidence in their drink there.
And look at this right now. Check out the burn cards for District 69 after they just farmed Death and Taxes that round. We're seeing 2 life ropes come out. We've got Havens across the board. We've got a couple of Cronoses coming out for Grok and Buck, as well as morale boosts and an Equestrian, as well as some cauterizers. And interestingly enough, we've seen this happen quite a few times. gerrah as Grok picking up an anti-shield card. He's picking up Wrecker, which allows him to deal additional damage to shields. How do you feel about Grok using that card as opposed to potentially another champion?
You know what? I actually love that because Grok's DPS is really strong right now, especially concentrated DPS. It's very easy to get all of his damage off quickly onto a shield. Almost easier than any of the other characters, although Cassie does a lot. But it's just really easy to just hit that full blast of a shield, and if you got Wrecker on, you could take that down in almost one swing. I've used it myself. I actually like the pickup in this scenario if the enemy Grok is giving you some trouble. So they really, you can tell right now, Vox, they really want to prioritize this capture point. They want to win right now. What do they need to do? It looks like things are working well so far. Death and Taxes are now at the big disadvantage. What do they need to do right now to secure themselves a chance for this game to keep on going?
They've got a group, they've got to get the ambush on, because if they get poked out before they get to the objective and they filter in one by one, it is all over. We saw that the previous game where Torpedo plays Field Potato Man and Menschmeyer just dived in way ahead of everybody. You can see that Shipa already setting up the sticky bomb assassination. Oh my goodness, the Scorpion almost KO'd by that trap right there, taken down by eLvenpath, heroic leap damage. And now eLvenpath 1 versus 4 in the backside does heroic leap away to safety, but it's too late, it's already over. Shipa with the King Bomb with the final zone is good enough, and that will be game 1 going to District 69.
GG all around. Shipa with the just fancy ult. He's too fancy over there, just ulting to kill the Androxus on Death and Taxus right at the very end of it. Just add a little bit of insult to injury there as D69 go ahead and claim this first victory in this best of 2, well, best of 3 actually. So one more win and they will secure themselves a spot in the next round, have a chance to play for that win for the tournament after winning last week as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the damage numbers and look at the in-game scores here. A lot of obviously positive scores and credits coming out from the side of D69, more so than Death and Taxes. Vox, having taken a look at this for a moment, what stands out for you on the side of Death and Taxes as an opportunity to improve next match and maybe change up their strategy?
SYER with a high streak of 7-2 solo kills and 12-12 KDA is good, but I'm interested also in the solo kills picked up by STURE. 4, which actually almost rivals District 69, Shipa having the highest number of solo kills with 5 right there, and actually way higher than eLvenpath solo kills. STURE doing quite a good job on the buck, just dying far too often, and going into the next map on Temple Ruins, we may see the similar lineouts come back again. I love what both teams are doing right now. I think that this this team comp works really well. There is no real kind of, at the moment, better team comp to run unless you're going to pull out a flavor pick, which one of your players might have, such as a Kinessa. But with the prowess of Buck on both teams, I think that that would be far too risky. So really, it all comes down to, honestly, it comes down to, can SYER carry and can they shut down eLvenpath and PERDO? Because let's look at those numbers on the top side of the scoreboard for just a moment. Let's check out D69. PERDO, highest damage in game at almost 60k in a 15-minute game. And eLvenpath, 26 and 16 with a highest streak of 14 as a Buck player. That is obscene.
Yeah. No, it's nasty. They just weren't able to shut down the Buck, clearly. That's why you saw...
Buck nasty?
It was Buck nasty. He was going Buck wild. I mean, this Buck is out of control, and they need to find some way to tame the beast. Otherwise, eLvenpath is going to find this path he's walking on with Death and Taxes in front of him way too easy to get beyond. Let's see if they have a chance to go ahead and to make it happen. Did you have something you want to mention at the very end?
Yeah, one final question for you. No Eevee. How do you feel about that?
Oh, so if this is my squad right now, if it's a do or die, we've got one more game, we got to bring it out. I would look at one of my people on, either I would say ScorpYoN or I'd say Marre. I'd say, guys, these are good characters, but it was not working for us. I would definitely see if they had a pocket Eevee, if they had the ability to pull it out, I would love to see her. I think Eevee is just such a strong character. She is one of the best characters in the game, if not the best in my opinion, when played to her full potential, and she just can dominate these point fights, which D69 had a big advantage in. So I think she would definitely help.
Well, wise words from the man himself, Rainer, right there, but that will be it for game 1. We'll be back with game 2 very, very shortly, and it will be a corker. Let's see if Death and Taxes can keep themselves in it, or if District 69 will go for the full sweep.
A corker. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and champions of the realm. My name is Rainer, and I'm joined today with my co-host, Vox Tempest. We're going to be taking you through Game 2 of the Paladin Summer Circuit here in the second round, with D69 having a 1-game lead over Death and Taxes. D69, the winner of last week. Let's see if they can go ahead and move on to the finals with a win here, or if Death and Taxes can pull back the comeback. It's the salty run back, same teams, but let's introduce them. On the left-hand side, you've got, on the side of Death and Taxes, you've got SYER on his Androxus, TheScorpYoN onto the Bomb King, Bozey on the Grok, Marre onto the Cassie, and STURE onto the Buck. Who do we have on D69, Vox?
D69 once again with the solely run back, as you said. eLvenpath on Buck, gerrah running Grok, PERDO on Androxus, Shipa on Bomb King, and bugzy still on Cassie. We have seen bugzy play some style picks previously of Jiroko's around in this tournament and in the ESL tournament on Temple Ruins especially. Doesn't look like that's going to happen though, as all around the backside you're seeing Death and Taxes go for the ambush, but doesn't seem like it's working out as Chain Lightning scouts them out. They got a lot of damage coming up to District 69, but I don't think they're getting anywhere as so many are poked down in dives. eLvenpath. It's awful. There's so much damage. Marre cleans up gerrah, but Shipa immediately takes out STURE in response. eLvenpath cleans up the Scorpion on the backside of things. eLvenpath still going, takes out Bozey for the double kill, leaps straight back in, gets the triple kill. eLvenpath going for the quadra kill. Only SYER left right now. No net step available. SYER going to get shut down by PERDO, and that is a full team wipe once again for District 69 as they take out Death and Taxes and gain initial capture point control.
Now, I do think that was actually kind of a bit of a saving grace, because honestly, the fact that Marre was able to take down two, what seemed like, and take down a couple of the characters from D69 instead of it being a full wipe is lucky. The position they got caught in was so bad with the Bomb King. They were caught behind that rock. There was no way to chase the objective. They had to go out in the open space in two flanks, and obviously they lost this capture point. It's just great that they all, they were at least able to get a couple kills before they died and get some credits, get something positive out of that. Is that was just not a flank. That was exactly how not to flank right now.
Yeah, they got spotted out. It could have worked very well, but they were too visible. They got spotted out, and then they got dismantled. They didn't know how to respond and adapt on the fly well enough to come back from that. Well,
nowhere to retreat. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. They could have retreated, but that would have opened them up to cover. They'd already used Totemic Ward, no shield left. And now we see STURE diving into the back line, trying to contest the payload for just a second recovery. He'll keep them safe, but there's no reset cooldown on the heroic leap, and he's going to get shut down here. STURE's going to fall. PERDO and bugzy clean up everybody right now, and eLvenpath on the backside as bugzy with a triple kill isn't even required. Only SYER is left alive. That's going to be a full team wipe again if he dies this time, but no, actually no, he does get taken down by PERDO. That's another full team wipe. Only 2 minutes and 50 seconds into the game. They've had 10 players, or all 5 players fall twice, and that is not a good showing so far for Death and Taxes.
Oh, not at all. And now it's starting to just get, like, demoralizing. I mean, it looked like, you know, they were going to be able to take down bugzy, but he does a nice dodge roll back through the Totemic Ward, although they do get a little kill here. Bozey and SYER taking out gerrah and eLvenpath, but bugzy quickly returns the favor and is still alive somehow with the dodge roll away. The lifesteal somehow taking it, and STURE gets his revenge, but to die so quickly back to Shipa, who's on the upper ledge as Bomb King. Too many things going on, but all you need to know is that it's in D69's favor right now, and they've got pretty much a whole minute to push the cart. I would say, what, like 3 feet, Vox?
Yeah, it's not very far at all. Shipa's still alive. STURE dives in, but against eLvenpath, that's not going to work out very well for them. gerrah once again back on the payload, and Bozey taken down after all that juggling. The payload conversion goes through. An early 4-point lead, only 3 minutes and 50 seconds into the game. bugzy with a post-game triple kill, or a post-round triple kill right there. Just kind of rubbing salt into the wounds, as you cannot get away from this, Cassie, no matter where you run. And just please tell me, you saw Grok being juggled by Bomb King right at the end, or... that didn't you? Please tell me you saw that.
I didn't see the circus show. I didn't see the NA Clown Fiesta.
My
but this is EU, so you know I'm not looking out for the Clown Fiesta here.
Well, ScorpYoN definitely practicing the juggling, as we did see him last weekend, and playing Bomb King and having a little bit of a bomb elevator, using Poppy Bomb, and then self knockback from Sticky Bombs to be able to get up to a higher ledge, which is quite entertaining to watch. In the meanwhile, we do have the next objective spawning in Zactory, the middle point of this map, and we have a lot of Havens coming out, which I like, but we got to remember that Haven won't mitigate the damage coming from Bomb King's explosions if they explode in that AoE effect. So this is why you're seeing Bomb King picked up as a priority pick now, as Haven damage being unmitigated is really, really important. It allows Bomb King to kind of go ham and go haywire onto everybody.
Yeah, and honestly, I really think Shipa is making a double kill there by Shipa as well. As I mentioned, the man, he does his work. Bozey trapped in with eLvenpath. There's eLvenpath trapped in with Bozey. We can't find out, but eLvenpath gets the better of that trade. He's looking good, and he's got a couple of options here, but only one he takes is death, as it looks like bugzy, PERDO, and the squad clean up everyone else who disrespected their captain and now are holding the point solidly as Death and Taxes try to make their way back. But Shipa, I think, has been such a big key for them. They really respect his area damage. He is playing extremely well on the Bomb King, thwarting off the right angles and just poking them so hard that they're afraid to rush in. And it's making these capture points a walk in the park for D69.
Now, what's really important about Shipa's build, which I'll just mention quickly, is he's running Backdraft 3, which it reduces the cooldown of Poppy Bomb by 3 seconds if you only hit yourself. So Shipa is actually playing very aggressively. We've noticed this about his positioning. He'll Poppy Bomb in, and then Poppy Bomb back out again only a few seconds later, because the cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds. It doesn't matter if he hits anybody additionally on the escape, because he's not looking to chain those Poppy Bombs together. He's looking to reduce the cooldown on the way in, like he's doing now, and then he'll have Poppy Bomb available again very, very shortly. Look, he's being trapped right here. Oh, no Poppy Bomb available for you, though, as he is shut down by STURE. Net shot will not allow him to get out of that, but STURE will be quickly fallen as well. ScorpYoN raining down damage from above. PERDO's going to be taken out here if I'm no expert. But Bozey under fire. This is the Grok who's about to fall as well for Death and Taxes, and that'll be very, very difficult to contest the payload now. As with that Grok fall, you've got no immunity. You've got Buck left here, and you do have those Grumpy Bombs to zone. But all the while, Grok is such an important character to contest the payload that it's going to put them at a huge deficit. But they do have the damage, though, to come back through, and that's what's going to keep them in this for at least one more push.
So we're looking at Death and Taxes with a nice hold here. Actually, they got a couple of kills, definitely used an ultimate or two to make sure that they were able to secure that. But right now, Shipa coming up from the ledge. And let's look at this play from Shipa because, again, he takes down Scorpion without any hesitation, and they don't even know he's there, Vox. This is why it is so difficult for this team, Death and Taxes, to get involved. That's his second kill there. He's going to Poppy Bomb away, and no one has touched Shipa. This is what they are doing that is so incredible. We talked about his play at DreamHack at the Founders Tournament. Shipa staying alive on the pip. Now it is the Bomb King, and just as I speak of it, the curse of the commentator, Scorpion takes down Shipa, and that's the end of his fun run, though. That was a good one, though. That was good. He's got to be happy about that.
Well, the other fun run that's been shut down short is STURE right there, taken out by eLvenpath. eLvenpath diving in for the contest, and we're seeing eLvenpath trap Bozey in alone. That allowed the payload to be pushed further and further forwards as Bozey, getting very low, is going to start to fall. Up comes Shipa once again, and death awaits you. All the Accursed Arm ultimate coming out of PERDO, drops damage. SYER reverses it, though. PERDO about to fall, somehow still stays alive. STURE the only one contesting right now. The Scorpion can't get in there. They're too low on health, and that conversion goes through just too late as Marre rolling in on Cassie, and that's an 8-point lead for District 69.
Yep, that's a fantastic start for D69. They're looking as strong as ever. And again, last time we saw the set get to this place, we had Death and Taxes make a really nice play at a capture point. In fact, we actually had D69 kind of overplay and use that confidence. I doubt we'll see that again, Vox. It looks like they'll probably be wanting to sweep this up and get to the finals as soon as possible. But do you think there's a chance D69, again, play a little bit up and get a little relaxed and let Death and Taxes have a chance back in this one?
I think after doing that once, they've had far too much of that cup of tea. They are not going for that kind of overconfident play, and they haven't been demonstrating that all the way through. In fact, the only player who has, to a degree, who did that last time and kind of threw that initial capture point or that final capture point was Shipa. And Shipa diving in very deep, got taken out in King Bomb, feeling himself a little bit too much there. But this time, Shipa's not being shut down. Shipa's not being prioritized. You see him going in deep and aggressive and holding down high ground, but nobody's looking at him, which allows him to get all of his bomb damage off for free. And as STURE dives in deep, STURE gets shut down right there by gerrah, and that's the Buck already out of the issue. eLvenpath still alive. Here's a Tempest coming out from gerrah. It's not going to find any kills, though, but bugzy cleans up two on the backside. gerrah and bugzy, 2 kills apiece. Only 1 player left remaining, and that is SYER right now on Androxus, quickly to be shut down by eLvenpath. No bugzy as he turns around on the backside. That's a full house wipe right there, and Death and Taxes are going to be shut out of this point and shut out of this game as Shipa goes out to zone.
Yeah, this is not the one I want to see zoning me. Shipa with the Bomb King. The accuracy, the display that he's shown, the awareness of how to use this Poppy Bomb and keep himself safe. And I'm sure he's about to die right now since I'm talking about him. No, he stays alive. Look at that. Okay, Shipa avoiding the curse of the commentator as Death and Taxes try to retake this, but it's going to be a little too late. Seems like it, but a nice ultimate there by Shipa to clean up 2. Fox, it looks like it could be GG, and it is.
It is GG, because the Poppy Bomb actually knocks Buck off the objective. No, Cassie off the objective there. Buck nowhere to be found. And with that knockback at very, very close to capture, District 69 will take that point and will take the second win in this best-of-3 set, closing things out and advancing through to the finals, because this was, of course, the semifinals. Let's break down the post-match scoreboard. And Rain, what stands out to you?
Well, let me look at it first. The thing that really, I think, actually, I'm just getting to it now, but the thing that I think stood out for me during that entire play was Shipa. I believe it was, he went 16-4 last game. He went 13-4 this game. 35k damage, which is basically top on his team. Aside, it's third technically, but there's 2 around 35, and only PERDO on the Androxus, which PERDO's just ridiculously he's special. He's a special Androxus, man. Yeah. Is absolutely stellar. But Shipa's play, I think, was just so stellar for me. He was able to not only show off his ability to move around as Bomb King, who, you know, is not typically mobile unless you really go for the mobility build, which he did have on the Poppy Bomb, the more air control, but then his ability to cut off choke points and cut off pathways by landing those sticky bombs and not just detonating them in the air, not detonating them on players, but putting them in paths where they walk. So they have to take that poke damage. So now, you know, D69 is fighting against 50% of the health pool of Death and Taxes before they get into the engagement. I just love Shipa's play, and I think that's one of the big reasons they took this victory so cleanly.
Okay, so counter argument for you. Why was Shipa not shut down? 'Cause Shipa went very aggressive and took high ground positioning where he was overextended by my mark and actually should have been prioritized by all of Death and Taxes to avoid all that damage coming through. Why was that prioritization not there? Was that a folly from Death and Taxes? Was that their fault that they didn't look for him well enough and just took so much damage and they couldn't respond? Or was there better distraction coming out from District 69 and splitting the attention of them, do you think?
The thing is, when you have a character like Bomb King is not a do-it-himself character. And so when you have other characters that are playing at their highest level, like being played a Gerrah, on that Grok performing well, Bugzy as well on the Cassie, eLvenpath on the Buck. These are characters you can't ignore. And PERDO, I mean, come on, you cannot ignore these characters. You have to deal with them. If they're staying alive, if they're in front of your face, it's going to leave room for people like Shipa to come around the backside and not get prioritized. You're not going to be fighting PERDO and prioritize looking behind you. You're going to have to look at PERDO the whole time, until he's dead. And so I think what happened was D69 just brought too many guns to a knife fight, apparently. And, really were able to just prioritize off of having such good players that Shipa was able to just, basically be unattended because they had to put their focus elsewhere. Not too much of a fault. It's just they're really good.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's an answer which I can definitely get behind and definitely agree with right there. Death and Tax is just kind of split between having to fight too many very, very experienced and very devastating opponents at once. And so getting that split on focus, trying to look in 3 directions at once or 4 directions at once means that you're going to drop balls somewhere around that engagement. Either way, District 69 do take a 2-0 sweep over Death and Taxes. They advance to the finals right now. And as we have the scoreboard coming in from Torpedo, as predicted, will take the 2-0. And we will have a Torpedo and District 69 finals once again. But next up will actually be the bronze match going ahead. And that will be between Fate and Death and Taxes. Now, Fate with their revamped roster and Death and Taxes, who we just seen play. You got any thoughts about that game coming up?
I think it's going to be a good one. I'm excited to see it. I think the bronze matches are always interesting because you kind of get to see a very competitive match typically. And so, obviously, it's going to be, I think, a very fun, engaging game, a little bit more competitive than this one here. So I'm excited to see what comes up. I'm just like a fan here right now looking to, experience it. I hope we see a couple of new character picks and selections, though. I'd love to see Eevee get brought out onto one of these team compositions and see that little Ice Queen go to work.
Fair enough. Definitely a major Eevee fan, as am I, as you remarked, after DreamHack at some point, I'm sure. But that will be it from us for the time being. As we said, it will be the bronze match placement coming up between Death and Taxes and Fate Esports after this short break.